Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I am Cole at kitschyflower. Go ahead, like and subscribe, helps grow my channel, and spread the love of vintage around. But I have a pretty exciting video today. I am going to be doing an unboxing, kind of one of my favorite kinds of videos to film, TBH. I just like unboxing things. And I also really like watching other people unbox. So, I don't know. I know it's a very like 2014 kind of era thing to do on YouTube, but I'm still pretty partial to the unboxings. This box actually comes from a fellow vintage seller, one of my favorite people, hands down, to watch here on YouTube. She pretty much posts like daily, and honestly, like I wake up, I have a few people I usually watch. I usually watch Michael at the Cult of Vintage. I usually watch, you know, of course, Misty as well. And I watch Kate daily. She is one of my favorite people. We have a very similar taste in kitsch and vintage. Anytime I see anything really cute and that catches my eye on Etsy, it always turns out to be hers, which I always kind of think is funny. I was lucky enough to catch her first ever live sale. I do believe it was on the wonderful Yvonne's channel. It was actually my first time watching Yvonne, so it was really a treat to see some new sellers. It was awesome also to see the awesome Kate do her first live sale, and she brought some fabulous stuff. So as soon as I saw she was doing a live sale and what she was bringing, I was like, okay, I have to be there. And it was definitely a pleasure to watch and enjoy. So without further ado, let's get into it. Honestly, I will say, watching Kate's videos, I'll definitely be leaving her channel in the description. She's definitely inspired me to kind of keep up with my Etsy shop. For a while, I was kind of pretty stagnant on posting. I have a huge love for Etsy, and she's kind of just sparked that again. I guess we'll kind of do a story time while unboxing. Oh my gosh, I love her little graphic logo. I just think it's the cutest thing. There is her green bug, her little bunny. When I found out she had a bunny, I was just like, oh my gosh, you are living my dream. I would love to have a cute little bunny, but I don't know. I have my dog Blythe, and I just don't know if I have the space. I'd probably get another like little dog, but I don't know. Bunnies, I love them, but I would want it to free roam, and unfortunately, I just have a lot of vintage everywhere, and at least with my experience with bunnies, they like to eat things. Sometimes tiny dogs do too, if I'm not careful. Love, love, love bunnies. I collect a lot of vintage Easter stuff, vintage bunnies. I'm trying to show, and let me, I was like, I don't have to look too hard, but yeah, I love bunnies. I just have them all across my room, and obviously the rubber-faced blush, definitely always across the room, but especially in bunny form, how can you go wrong? But really fun, I'm so excited. But anyways, yeah, I'll kind of do my little story of how I got into reselling. Back in the day, ooh, maybe I should unbox these and start telling. Ooh, cute! Kate even did some pink for me. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I actually saw in another one of Kate's videos that she had found a Rushton face. And that I actually tried to look on her Etsy to see if she had posted it, but she hadn't yet. So I messaged her when, you know, I gave her my info and stuff, and was like, do you still have it? And it turned out that she did. Oh my gosh, it is a wonderful Rushton tubby bear. Here, I'll actually go grab mine. Here's like him on full scale. Here's him complete, and here's his little face from Kate. I am so excited. So he has his two little hands and a little foot with the face, and it was so sweet. Thank you so much, Kate. I am so excited to make him into a project. I'm probably gonna end up turning him into like, I don't know. I kind of want to try to do some molds of him I have some cute ideas up my sleeve, actually, for some Rushton. Some kind of Rushton kitschy flower merch, maybe. I don't know. It's on the agenda. So I'm gonna try to do some mold casting of him and such. But I'll probably end up, after doing that, I'll probably end up using him. I'll make myself like I'll probably do a cute little like bag or something, kind of inspired by my friend Sydney at Sad Girl Dolls. She does some rubber face style purses. But yeah, just really cute, because I know I could put this on a bag and I would definitely wear it. All right, next off, everything is packaged great. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Let's see. Ooh, oh my gosh, yeah. This is definitely like what really got me excited about the live sale. What I kind of like was really trying to get. Like, I was kind of tempted to pretty much like grab everything Kate brought. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. Oh yeah, she's right up my alley. Okay, so we have a sweet little made in Japan coin bank. She is just everything I needed in my life. So she's a little blondie with a flower on top of her head. She even still has her cute little foil Japan sticker. Not too familiar with what brand this is, but I don't know. I just knew I kind of had to have her. We have kind of very similar hair. Mine's just a little bit more on the silver side, but I'm so excited about her. I've actually kind of been wanting a bank, oddly enough, so it was kind of perfect timing, and I'm just so excited. So thank you so much, Kate. I know it was part of your personal collection if you're watching. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with her, so yay. I also saw in the preview, and I was like, you know what? If she's for the right price, I might just snag her. So she definitely was. I am just so happy I was able to pick up everything I did. So this next one is another kind of groovy 60s, 70s kind of gal. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna try to repackage this and redo it so I can film a video for TikTok because I'm that annoying. I'm trying to carefully unpackage everything. Oh my gosh, she's so cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's so cool. So I think I've mentioned here on my channel before, I am so just a huge fan of anything like, I don't know, household things that kind of are dolls as well. So this is kind of like said thing. This is actually a little calendar girl. So it has all of the months of the year, and then it has all of the dates. This is just so cool. Susie Date Minder. Look at her. Like I said, I am so keen on those very mod looking faces. You can definitely see with the lashes, the little eyeshadow. I am in love with her. And she also is a bank, and honestly, I think she might be a pin cushion as well. Well, basically what you would do with this is you would, you know, put a little pin in under, you know, what month and what date you are in. So cool. I am so happy to add this to my collection. And she's also a bank, so like, I didn't even realize. So excited about these. Thank you so much, Kate. Yeah, I am so stoked to use these. I also have a tiny one too, so Rushton had a few sizes of these tubby bears. These were like Rushton's, if you guys didn't already know, these were like Rushton's first like really big breakout plush. But yeah, he was like definitely voted like #1 toy back in the day. He is just really sweet. I've actually restored this one. So this one is from my own personal collection. Yeah, really sweet. I do believe he was one of the first, if not the first, rubber face Rushton started doing, because before they were doing more of like the cloth faces on plush. Then they obviously, once rubber started really being heavily used in toys, obviously around the 50s, where you kind of had that boom of rubber toys, like the squeak toys and obviously all the rubber faces. That's when obviously Rushton started using the rubber face plates, which I adore, all hand painted and just really, really gorgeous. So if you can find, you know, like the Rushton plush, their faces still just gorgeous. It's quite the treat. But you know, if you don't, you can always send them to me, and I actually do restoration work on vintage plush. My email is in the info box description. So if you have any vintage plush you need to be fixed up, I do take commissions. Yeah, so that's really fun. He's so sweet. But yeah, again, huge shout out to Kate. I am so excited to add her on my desk. She's going to be well loved for sure. So both, I mean, all of them will. But yeah, I thought I would do a quick little story time of, okay, so I'm gonna be such a nerd and you're gonna watch me, but I'm gonna rewrap all of these and be annoying so I can do this for a TikTok and Instagram reel. Yeah, anyways, so I'm gonna rewrap these all really quick. So I get the full experience over there as well. But basically, kind of how I started reselling, you know, I've always been a collector. Like I've said in the past, you know, both of my, hope the camera's not too shaky, both of my parents have been in the antique business. My father still currently is. He owns an auction house, an estate sale company, and an antique store and stuff. But growing up, my mom owned two, and then he kind of started in the later kind of years of my childhood. So yeah, it's kind of always been in the family. Even my like grandparents were actually antique furniture restorers. I don't know, what's the proper word? They restored antique furniture. There you go. Kind of how I got into it, you know, growing up, going and always being in antique stores, you know, because my mom and I would just go to, growing up, because it was fun. It was always kind of a treasure hunt. I've always kind of liked very unique things growing up. I don't know, it's funny. It was kind of hard to shop for me when I was little at certain points, just because, I don't know, I didn't want something out of a mall. I kind of wanted something, you know, more unique. And I've kind of always, from a pretty young age, I've always been a fan of pink. And I've always been a fan of just like cute things. I remember, you know, I feel like everyone has their first room where they can like really just go out and design however they want, just, you know, really by themselves. And I mean, granted, I was kind of always allowed to do design and what have you at an early age. My mom was really cool, but she was an artist as well. So she would do all these huge murals and stuff on my wall as a child. So I remember having like SpongeBob SquarePants and like the Patty Mobile or whatever with all the little other characters just like painted on my wall, just because she was an awesome mom and she wanted to, you know, really give me a special place to, you know, dwell in, aka my room. So once I really started my own style, my own sense of, you know, what I was into, it was really kind of the days of, I mean, maybe a little bit before, but it was kind of the days of Tumblr. Now, I don't know if anyone really out there was on Tumblr, but it was just a different social media site, but it was really great for kind of creating niches and I guess the first experience of kind of building aesthetics. You could do, I mean, obviously kind of people did it on MySpace back in the day. I just wasn't a part of MySpace. I was too young. Like when I really started wanting to do or have a social media account, it just wasn't that cool at the time. Sorry, MySpace. But let me get this out of the way. But yeah, so basically kind of started through Tumblr, discovering what I was into, different aesthetics. Through Tumblr, I actually came across a singer called Nicole Dollanganger. And when I found her music, it was just like so into it. I was just so taken aback. Before then, you know, I had already kind of started collecting old vintage antique dolls. I kind of liked the creepy, cute aesthetic, kind of really once maybe beautiful things, decrepit and over time, and then kind of seeing the beauty in that. Anyways, so I found her, and then from there I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not, you know, so strange. Before, I definitely kept like doll collecting and stuff kind of to myself. I don't know, whenever I had like a boyfriend or whatever over, or, you know, partner at the time over, I don't know, I would be like, let me like put like my old creepy dolls away. I don't want to like freak them out. But over time, I just kind of got, I don't know, I just kind of found myself and kind of got over that fear of what other people thought, I guess. I just, you know, you live a little bit and certain things just don't seem to matter as much. So anyways, I'm like going off on a tangent. I'm sorry, my ADHD self just kind of like goes here and there. We were getting back to how I started reselling. But yeah, I've always been into, you know, kind of like grandma core. I've always been into like doilies, flowers, obviously. I've always been so drawn to flowers. When I was younger, when I first got my iPhone, I would just like randomly go places, and whenever I would see flowers, I would just take pictures of them. I've always just been super intrigued by them. And then just other like cute things. I've always been into the 60s. I found Margaret Keene's art at a pretty young age, so the big-eyed kind of haunting look of those paintings really have just been something I've cherished for, I mean, most of half of my life at this point. But honestly, it was really Margaret Keene that, I mean, that and like a love of kind of other similarities and other things of the time. I just kind of got really, really into the 60s and vintage, and I would definitely say my favorite like era aesthetically would be the 60s. Definitely of the clothing, of the art, and just kind of the overall flower power feel. I definitely loved the era of the 50s for toys and such. I'd say the 50s through 70s are like my favorite era of toys. I do obviously love some more antique dolls. I have some that are 100 years plus, but I don't know, there's just something about once plastic was introduced and all the wonderful, funky, bright, vibrant colors that were applied in the 60s. It's just like, oof, nothing else. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, you know me, rambling on. How I got into selling vintage is basically, you know, I've always collected things, so I'm talking back like 14 or 15, you know, I would have like vintage antique dolls. That was kind of when I got really into Blythe dolls, and really Blythe dolls got me into a lot of other vintage dolls I love and near and dear to my heart now, kind of like the Kamars, some of the Susie Sad-Eyes, Little Miss No-Names, any big kind of creepy big-eyed doll, etc. That was the time I just really started, I don't know, collecting a lot. I had a bunch of them, and honestly, I didn't really worry too much at the time. I was still pretty young, so basically what I did was I would just sell extra things and, you know, dolls that I might have didn't want and other toys. I would just sell them on eBay and such. Yeah, that's kind of how I started selling. And that was, I'd probably say I started doing that. Yeah, I'd say really 15. When I, you know, kind of fully understood what I was doing and what have you. Because oddly enough, I've always been very fascinated by eBay. I remember as a small child in like the 1st or 2nd grade, just going on eBay and searching, just like, I remember at the time it was like She-Ra toys. I don't know why, I've never really been into the She-Ra action figures and what have you, but I remember at the time seeing them somehow up on eBay and then just like deep diving and looking at all of them and just, I don't know if I really wanted any of them, but I might have, but I don't know, I just really loved looking at them and all the different makes and models, and I don't know, that's kind of how I really started kind of deep diving in vintage toys. And then I also forgot to mention, I've always been into vintage trolls, especially the ones from the 60s. Granted, I do not have a large collection by all means at all anymore. You know, 15, 16, really got into selling, you know, other spare toys I found, because I've always been into antiquing and thrifting especially. So I'd come across things and then just casually sell things online. And then more towards the end of high school, I really started becoming, I don't know, more interested in vintage clothing. So I kind of just raid Goodwills back when Goodwill was actually halfway decent. I know it's still like pretty okay for some areas in some states, but I don't know, the places I've been to, it sucks. Sorry, I mean, not really, sorry, Goodwill. You suck. But anyways, so yeah, I would just find vintage clothing and then I would do Depop. That's kind of when Depop was really first kind of a thing. So yeah, I would just sell vintage clothing on Depop. Just some things that, you know, were too big, too small, didn't fit right. So kind of started that way, and then kind of took a few years off selling, just life and kind of figuring out what I was trying to do in life, I suppose, which I guess every adolescent goes through. Anyways, so I kind of started back up on Etsy about 2 years now. Kind of started doing Etsy at first, really enjoyed it. But yeah, so I was kind of like, you know, I love going to antique stores, estate sales, what have you, and obviously find a bunch of great stuff, and I've been collecting for years. So let me just try to do it on Etsy, and kind of the rest was history. Obviously love the live sales, obviously weekly Sunday sale on Whatnot, do Instagram sales and other stuff as well, but have kind of missed Etsy, so kind of full wind on back to Kate, but she primarily does Etsy. But I think that's awesome, and I've definitely missed Etsy because some days, or like a week, maybe if I'm sick or stuff, obviously I can't do a live sale, so it's kind of nice to have the option to, you know, have Etsy going and having a flow in and out and such. So there's always some vintage, you know, waiting for you if you're in the mood. So that's kind of why I've popped back on Etsy, and I've also honestly kind of missed it. And I know I've been told quite a few times, you know, some people can't make it to live sales all the time, which I totally understand it. People have work at different times and life and just, you know, what have you. But I kind of like the idea of having Etsy and keeping it up. Just so if you would like to shop through me, having the place to go to, and it is an easy kind of send off to, if I kind of on TikTok and such, it's kind of easier just to send them to the Etsy shop sometimes than trying to say, oh, I have a live sale 3 days from now at this time, etc. So that's just my take on it, kind of why I have had Etsy kind of be popping back up. And also kind of for higher ticketed items, I'm going to start, you know, kind of funneling those over to Etsy. I love live sales on Whatnot and stuff, but you know, I like to bring some cool items, but I also like to bring items that that are affordable, essentially, because I know some people, you know, can't afford to spend a couple $100 on a stuffed animal, but cool with dropping $1 or $2 on a cute little piece of kitsch. So it really just depends, kind of broadening the market and possibilities for new customers and such. I think it's pretty much been the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, I am Cole at kitschyflower. Go ahead, like and subscribe. You can find me on YouTube. We're here. Instagram, TikTok, Whatnot, 5 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much, Kate, for sending me these goodies. I am so excited about them, and now I'm gonna go pack them all up and be insane and unbox them on Instagram and TikTok. So without further ado, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will talk to you soon. Bye.